to On the Food Scene with Steve. I'm here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida at the Mr. Food Test Kitchen and Studio. And with me is Mr. Food himself, Art Ginsberg, and the COO of Mr. Food, Howard Rosenthal. And I know that we've spoken a little bit about two types of cooking in America. There are people that are home cooks, and there are those that are chefs.
But why is it, and this is one of the things that always did not disturb me, but was very rampant in my mind, that everything is being based now on what the chef does and what the chef in this restaurant does, and this is how we recognize and base everything according to the chefs. Well, do you know that chefs cook for the smallest amount of people in this country? These fine chefs. Let me tell you something. They are artists. They know their business. They are creative. They are wonderful. But it's not what I say America cooks, because America doesn't cook that way. Now, there are some people who are very wealthy, have the time, or just that they just enjoy cooking and they have the time to do all these fancy things that are being done in restaurants. But it's not done very often by them.
That's true.
Now, everything is based on them. Why isn't it based on what helps the masses, the most people? Should we go by what's on the 5% or what's on the 95%? 95% of the people in this country come home at the end of the day and they need something quick and easy. I always said, I'm not there to show them, and you've seen all these television shows and the magazines and everything. I am not there to show the people how much I know. I'm there to show them how much they know. I'm not there to show them what I can do. I show them what they can do. They can do things with right out of their closet, right out of their cupboard, right off of a supermarket shelf. Things that they know, things that they're comfortable with. And they can make food that's comfortable with that great taste of home. And it doesn't have to take a lot of time. It doesn't have to take a lot of expense. This is what most of the people in this country do. Whereas, why are we basing everything on that 5% of the chefs that are doing what they do, not what we do? And I always say that those chefs, at the end of working a 10-hour day, and it's not easy, because they put their time in and they know their business, but at the end of that 10-hour day, they come home and they want a tuna fish sandwich. Make a tuna fish salad, whip it up, and they're done.
What would you say, about a half hour is what most people want to spend preparing?
Yeah, usually they don't want to spend any more than a half hour in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they'll prep something and they'll put it in the oven, and then they go in and they change their clothes, their work clothes, and they get comfortable and they set the table, and by that time, dinner is done.
What are your thoughts about people who spend like a Sunday afternoon cooking a bunch of meals for the upcoming week?
Perfect. That's what I've always suggested. If you haven't got the time during the week, certainly make a few items, or make a large roast, or a large amount of stew, or something that you can break up into 3 or 4 times and have them over the course of this week. If you make stew this week, you have it twice. Put the rest in the freezer. If you have next week, you make chili and you split it up into 2. And you alternate, and you're getting something different every time, and something that tastes good. And some of those recipes, some of those kind, are the ones that Mom used to keep in the pot, tasted better the second day anyways.
And comfort food seems to be coming back in popularity.
It's not coming back, it never left. And it's just getting more popular today.
Yes, it is. The mac and cheese.
That's what they want.
The casseroles, comfort food.
They're entitled to their treat. And we also address another thing. We also address health. We usually try to give an option for better eating, healthy eating, just like everybody else does. That's the thing in the country today. But we don't want to lose the taste, and we don't want to lose that comfort.
Talk about health. You do have a cookbook that's out or coming out on cooking for diabetics?
We've already published 3,
Great.
Along with the American Diabetes Association, and we're going to be doing more now, too.
We have a book coming out spring of 2013, which will be a new diabetic book. Again, all the taste, all the comfort. It's what you don't think you would expect to have, but you can really enjoy. And as a matter of fact, we've had such success with diabetes, we're going to be launching a diabetic website this June.
Excellent.
And I am not a diabetic.
Site.
But you know what? I don't want to be a diabetic.
Sure.
So we're doing everything to put together books that make it so that, what I always said, if everybody in this world ate a diabetic diet, this would be the healthiest nation in the world.
True.
But we still want our little treats, and the funny part about it is you can still have your little treats with diabetes. Because today, the new philosophy is portion control,
Moderation.
moderation. And you know, even all these articles that you read in the magazines and the paper, Steve, when they come out, no matter they'll knock the heck out of this and knock the hell out of that, and you can't do this and you can't do that. At the very end, they say, and yet most people today say that moderation is still the best policy.
I agree with that. Well, thanks for that little thought process for us to think about what we eat, and we all can cook. We might not be a chef, but we can all cook, and I like that philosophy.
We can always manage and
Yes.
do well. And you know what? At the end of that, when you get that pride of making something for your family, and they applaud you, or they say, gee, this was great, you know what else today you're going to hear? Come on, you know it. Come on, join me.
Ooh,
so good.
good.
They're going to say
I
it.
think we
So
got a
are
new.
you.
I think we have a new talent here.
On the Food Scene with Steve, I'm Stephen Freeze.